I am not a healer. I never claimed to be a healer. I never will. I'm not that crazy to claim to be a healer. In fact, in the beginning, I fought the very idea. They would be sitting where, like I'd be speaking, and someone claimed they were healed. And I, honestly, at first, I questioned it. I thought, maybe they're lying to me, But suddenly the crowds began to come, and the people began to get healed, but they'd come up on the platform and say, I had cancer and my pain is gone. And I'd say, well, you better go to your doctor and check it out, to make sure this is really happening to you. And things just they kept going.
But did you talk about healing?
No.
Or you
at first,
were
nothing.
just preaching the gospel, and they were just
That's
saying,
correct.
Yeah.
No, I never talked about healing I did not even mention the word healing I began preaching December of 74, and I did not even hear anyone say they were healed till May of 75. So for those few months, there was not even a mention of it by anyone, me or the crowd. But in May, suddenly people began coming up and saying, I'm getting healed, and I'm healed of this, and I'm healed of that. And I thought, well, if you're healed, you better go check it to make sure, because I don't want to be accused of some false whatever. But then it did not stop. It just kept going and going. And finally, the crowds got so massive and so big that it was impossible to stop it, because God really was doing it. And then I saw with my own eyes, people would come out of wheelchairs and crutches would be thrown. And in the beginning, I'll be honest with you, in the beginning, I would question them to the place they got angry at me. They would say, well, don't you believe me? Well, I just want to make sure you really were sick. When they began to get healed, I went to the Lord. I said, Lord, what are you doing? I actually said those words.
Because it's a huge responsibility.
Oh, big. And that's the reason why I would say to them, please make sure to go to your doctor. I don't want you claiming something that isn't there. But it's been going on for 35 years now.
Now, what would happen if you just said, okay, I'm going to go around to hospitals and heal people?
Well, you know what? A lot of people would say that to me in the early days, and they still do. So, well, if you claim to be a healer, and that's the part I think that bothers me. I am not a healer. I never claimed to be a healer. I never will. I'm not that crazy to claim to be a healer. In fact, in the beginning, I fought the very idea. I thought, no, But I did go to hospitals a number of times. I wouldn't say anyone that I could see with my own eyes got up out of a wheelchair or something like that. Some of the people told me they felt heat, they felt warmth. Some of them said they were healed. And this is in the early days I'm talking about. There's a number of things that happened with me where I absolutely did see a change in people. One man named Floyd Mincy, he was dying, his kidneys had shut down. He was in Miami, Florida, and I had gone to pray for him, reluctantly, believe me, because I was tired, and this man named Bill Swat said, you've got to go pray for him. And I went in there and prayed for the man, and to my shock, and truly to my shock, he was healed. Came out of that hospital within 10 minutes, he was out of his bed, that is. And the following week, he showed up to a service, and honestly, I thought he was dead. Because when I walked out of the room, I thought, oh, hopeless case kind of thing. He'll die. Next thing I know, he's there, and he said to me, do you know what happened to me when you laid hands on me? I said, no, because I was shocked to see him even alive. He said, this heat went through my body. And he said, I was healed.
Do you think that the person has to believe in order to have
No,
this happen?
not necessarily, because in the early days, I believed that. I don't believe that anymore. Because I would tell people in those early days, oh, you got to believe. Well, that's not so, because I've seen people healed who are even atheists. And some of them got healed who were not even, they were not even expecting to be healed. It's God's love that heals them.
We are all looking for meaning in our lives, and we are all looking for the divine, all of us.
Of course.
What to you is the divine?
To me, the divine is the person of Jesus Christ. He is the beginning, He is the end, He is the source of life. And sadly, some of His representatives have not presented Him as He is. If people really discover the real Jesus, they would not reject Him. He is the only divine person I've ever met.